and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we must discuss Barca's win over Man City in pre-season. As Flick's winning start very much continues, we're going to be discussing all of the players who really caught the eye in Orlando last night, and we're also going to be discussing transfers too. Is there yet another twist in this Nico Williams situation, and is it maybe one that we did not expect? It is all on the way, so let's do it. Now, I did just want to give you guys a quick update here on the cards that I mentioned a few videos ago, because right now, the Lamine Yamal Young Player of the Tournament, that's gone. It is out of stock. I've got a few Nico Williams cards left, and I have a few Yamal Youngest Winner ones. If you don't want to get one, now is the time, because we are down to the final few. But if you still want to grab yourself some other cards as well, I've got a few here that you might recognise. Messi's goal against Real Madrid, Messi's goal against Bayern, and a certain Ronaldinho. Those are all still available there, and if you do want to get in touch about any of them, please do message me over on TalkFCB cards on Instagram to get yours now. But indeed, last night, Barça continued their pre-season preparations, and I've got to say, guys, in very, very good fashion, coming up against Man City, who, don't forget, we should be behind Man City in terms of our pre-season preparations. This right here was Man City's third proper pre-season friendly. We've had one behind closed doors, but this really is our first proper one. So I think we more than matched them there. I think we actually saw throughout this game Pep Guardiola getting quite angry about what he was seeing. He was actually banging the side of the dugout there in frustration because Barca were excellent against Man City there, and especially the young players as well, really rising to the fore. And this only continues the really positive start that we have had to the Hansi Flick era. And as you can see right here, this was the starting 11 that actually played plenty of minutes here, well beyond the halfway mark in the game. And it was quite interesting, because this starting 11 here was exactly the team that won the training match. You know, you can see here, it's the same players. So Hansi Flick really did reward what he saw in training and gave them all an opportunity in a real pre-season match here. So that was really, really interesting to see. Lots of quality on show there from the early exchanges, and Barca took the lead after 24 minutes of the game. And I want to highlight, first of all here, Marc Casado's part in this goal, because I think it's a really, really clever assist, because he's already seen the run of Pau Vitor, and he's used all of the pace on the ball to just redirect it there in behind for him. And I think when you watch Marc Casado play, he's got real intelligence about him, and that is exactly the characteristic that you want from a Barcelona midfielder. And I think he impressed there in the whole game. He played 75 minutes in total, and you can see why Barca want him in the first team this season, why they renewed him, why they are looking at him now and thinking, okay, he can get minutes in our midfield. He's definitely a player to keep an eye on, and he is definitely a player right now that Hansi Flick sees real potential in. But then you've got the goal scorer, and I want to talk here about Pau Vitor, because yes, the goal was absolutely fantastic there, running onto that Casado assist. He gets onto it, so much composure, so much calmness in front of goal, slots it home, absolutely no questions asked. Really good goal. That's exactly what you want there, centre forward play. But I think it's his overall game that really not only excites me, but it intrigues me actually. Watching here Pau Vitor, he's more than a number 9. You know, I love the way that he carries himself. He seems very comfortable to be involved in the build-up play. He's got a good touch, good feel for the ball, and when he drops in, he looks really comfortable there when he's combining with midfield. And that's something really, really interesting that maybe we don't have an awful lot of at Barca right now. And I think you look at the signing that we've made here, bringing him in permanently from Girona, really impressed last season at Barca Athletic, and we have paid just less than €3 million for him. He could be one of the most underrated deals of the summer. You know, it went very much under the radar, but it could prove to be an absolute bargain signing there. Pau Vitor, really, really good start for him, because even you look at his role then in the second goal as well. It's a clever dummy that he actually does in the build-up to Torre's goal, steps over the ball, he's aware of his surroundings. Like I say, he's so comfortable in these areas. That is great to see. And let's talk about that goal, because Pablo Torre, yet again, for the second successive pre-season game, he has scored. And this one, really good finish as well, because he takes the touch away from goal, and yet really puts power on the finish to beat the goalkeeper. An excellent goal that it was. And I think everybody watching last night's game, looking at Pablo Torre in pre-season, not only really excited about him, but genuinely happy to see him performing like this, and to see him getting opportunities, and actually feeling as though at last this could be his moment in a Barcelona shirt. Because since he's arrived, we've seen flashes of that, but he's hardly had a look in, at this club. We hardly gave him any opportunity at all to show what he can do. And we know that Flick has been really impressed with him during training. Then he injured his hand. He got him straight back into action. He jumped straight back in with that strapping on it. And he scored against a lot. He's now got another goal against Man City. And this again is what we want to see from our midfield players. Taking shots on, in and around the penalty area, not being afraid to have a go at goal, being comfortable in the final third, and especially in the system that Flick is playing at Barca. These are good midfielders to have, and these are players here that can have an impact, because I thought his dribbling last night and his footwork, particularly there in tight spaces, was absolutely outstanding to see from Pablo Torre. He looked like a player who was feeling confident, and we haven't seen that from him for quite a while now. So I think he's really taken his chances well. Another player to keep an eye on in these games to come. These are going to be massive moments for him, but so far, he is excelling. However, guys, I think that it's only fair here that we also give a special shout out to the hero of the game. In the end, it was Ander Astralaga who came up clutch with two big saves, really big penalty saves there in the shootout from the Barcelona goalkeeper, which ultimately in the end saw us secure the victory. And I think these are really nice moments for him, important moments in his young career. He's only 20 years old, and I think that's going to really help him here to feel like he belongs. And I think you saw that in the shootout. He made himself big, he made himself sort of dominant in that penalty shootout. And like I say, nice moments there for the young goalkeeper at Barca, especially when we are always looking to the future, always looking to what's going to come next after Ter Stegen, of course, is no longer our number one day. But I think when you look overall at the performance here against City, I'm really excited, guys, I've got to say, about what Hansi Flick is building at this club, because I think already in this game, you clearly see the style. Some coaches, when they arrive into a new job, you're waiting, game upon game, week upon week, thinking, oh, well, when are we going to see the philosophy? When are we going to see their real imprint on this team? I think with Flick, immediately, it's right there. I think from the training ground to match day, everybody's buying in to what he wants to bring at this club. And I think the football, it's going to be exciting. I think even last night you saw the real pressing, the hounding of the ball, making sure that everybody swarming around to get it back as quickly as possible. And I think we are in for excitement. We're going to be up off our seat. And for sure, sometimes it's going to be risky. We're going to take a few risks. But that's what football is all about. That's what Barca is about here. We want to go for it. We want to be on the front foot. We want to be the ones in charge of our own fate. And I think it's going to be an exciting, fun, enjoyable season of football. That is what we're here for. That was what we were looking for from Hansi Flick. And he is already delivering it at Barca. But I think there is actually a wider message here. And I think it's becoming more and more clear with every single day of pre-season, and in general at Barca, when you look at the talent that is on display at this club. Hansi Flick has been telling us, by the way, over and over and over again, La Masia is unbelievable. The players that I'm seeing on a day-by-day basis, the players here who are taking their opportunities, they are magnificent. Again, it only instills the feeling we've got to look from within at every available opportunity, because we as fans here, of course, we like new signings, we like big players coming in, but at this club, with the setup that we have, we've got to look first at what we've got, because it's not only the fact here that young players coming out of La Masia, they're talented, they've got quality, you can clearly see, they've got the ability in their games, but the beauty of La Masia is that they arrived ready for the first team. They are battle hardened. They are armed to take on this challenge now. And that's why they look ready. They have the mentality for it here. You throw them in a pre-season game against Man City, they do not look out of place because they are ready for this chance. They are simply waiting for their opportunities. And I think before we go out and spend big money on any player, any position, you've got to always look at what you have. La Masia is right there. It consistently provides us with quality. The young players are extraordinary, and Hansi Flick, he is well aware of that. However, there is a big signing still on our radar, because this is a deal regarding Nico Williams that is still alive. It is not over. It is not done yet. Because every day I think to myself, well, if Nico Williams is staying at Athletic Club, it still makes no sense why we have not heard about that. It makes no sense why you wouldn't just come out, crush the rumours, say, okay, decision made, I'm staying. And it all goes to bed. People stop writing about him every day. People stop expecting him to come out with different things. It is all resolved in there if you simply make the announcement. But like I say, that has not come. And the other thing right now that has emerged, it emerged late in the media last night really, from TV3, who basically said that from Barca's HQ in America, the word is, this deal is not over. They still believe they can sign Nico Williams, but it's the club who are waiting on money from that libero lever. The 40 million euros that we've been waiting on month upon month for this situation to be sorted out. Barca, they're still waiting for that. That is needed there to return to the 1-for-1 rule. That would be needed to register Nico. So the question is right now, we've all been waiting on Nico Williams. We've all been thinking, when are you going to make the call? Could it actually be here, Barca, who are delaying things? Is it possible here that Nico is actually like all of us? He is sitting back, waiting for Barca to get that money in, to be able to register him, to have that security of thinking, if I do sign with you, you can register me. And this has also made me think, guys, right now, we spoke yesterday about deadlines, about Barca waiting and waiting and waiting for Nico. Is it possible that Barca didn't set a deadline for Nico Williams? They didn't say, you need to answer by this date, because they're the ones causing the delay, because he is waiting on us. And honestly, looking at the way that Barca has had to be run over the past few years, in terms of FFP, in terms of levers, in terms of very technical financial details, in my mind, it's actually possible here that Barca are the ones causing the delay and that they are waiting every day for this money. Because how long have we heard now, guys? That 40 million lever, it's on the way. It's going to be done in the coming days. In the coming days, we're going to return to the 1-for-1 rule. When will that day come? And it's very possible here that Nico is thinking exactly the same thing. And you know, by the way, in the back of the mind here, Athletic Club, they're using all of this. They are probably in Nico Williams' ear saying, look, Barca can't even register you. They are still making you wait. They are still thinking there, is it even going to be able to happen? Why go through all of that uncertainty? Why don't you stay here with us? We'll give you a new deal. We'll look at that release clause. We will do everything for you. Don't go there. There's too much uncertainty. And of course, we don't know exactly what is going on right now. This is a new angle that's only just emerging. But like I say, given how Barca are run, given the way that we do things in transfer windows, you know, we do things at the last minute. Everything is sort of fastened together in the final moments here. Nothing seems to be time sensitive with Barca in transfer windows. It can be very, very complicated. For that reason, I actually can buy this. I could actually believe here that Barca are the ones that may have Nico's blessing. He may be open to coming after all, but since we can't register him, since we are still waiting for money, this is a deal that can't and hasn't happened yet. But what do you make of that theory? What do you make right now of this, guys? Because obviously every day right now we're looking at this deal in a new way. We're searching for answers. We're desperately trying to find some reason behind all of this situation. But what do you make of that? Do you believe it could be Barca who are delaying things? That Nico is maybe waiting on assurances here that he can be registered if he was to give us the okay? I think that's fair. I think that's very, very plausible. But let's wait and see. Let's wait for more reports. Let's wait for more and more information to come. But Barca, victorious against Man City, and Flick continues his work at the club. Thank you indeed, guys, to all of you for watching today. Thank you for all of your great support. And like I said, if you do want to get your hands on some of those cards, the very final ones right now, please do message me on TalkFCB cards and I'll be happy to help you out. I will see you soon, though, with more videos to come. But until next time, as always, Vejska, El Barça.